Hi, my name is Stephanie Anderson, and I am a foodie for Jesus. I have some exciting news to share. I feel like I say that a lot. I get excited about some of these things I get to share here. My news today is that I am excited because I completed a goal that I've been working towards for the last few months. So I've shared on previous video blogs that I've really been getting into running and really been enjoying it. And the goal that I had set for myself was to complete a 10-mile race. And I just completed the Monster Dash 10 mile in St. Paul, Minnesota. Truth be told, I actually wanted to do the Twin Cities 10 mile, which happens a few weeks earlier, but there wasn't, that weekend didn't work for my family, so I ended up doing this one. End of October, a little bit unpredictable with the weather, but it was absolutely amazing. Perfect weather. I couldn't have like if I had the possibility to like special order the weather for the day, it would have been exactly what it was. So it was awesome. And when I had registered for the race, my goal, and this was a few months ago, was I would like to average a 10-minute mile pace. I thought, wow, if I could do that for 10 miles, I would be absolutely thrilled. I ended up finishing it averaging a 9:23 pace, according to my Garmin. And according to my Garmin is actually an extra 0.07 miles further as well. So was so excited about that. I had actually adjusted my goal leading up to the race because I knew, okay, I think I can push myself more than a 10-minute mile. And I thought if I can be between that 9:30 to 9:45 mile pace, I would be ecstatic. And so was really, really excited to have exceeded that. Why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because if I were still in the food, consumed with the food, I never would have found the joy that I found in running. And I do believe that this running has been a gift as well. This transformation of my relationship around food has certainly been a gift from the Lord, something that I literally was very desperate and turned that over and have been experiencing this amazing transformation related to food. And because of that, I've had more energy and I've had more interest in taking care of my body in other ways as well. And that's how I got interested in running. And it really just snowballed. I just kept getting more and more interested in it. I've also found that my time running, sometimes I listen to music or audiobooks. Sometimes I listen to sermons or podcasts. Sometimes I don't listen to anything and I just focus on just being in the moment and enjoying nature. And in fact, on the 10-mile run, I had planned on listening to music. But my earbuds were not working. The one time they did not work was when I was like planning to use them for a 10-mile run. But it worked out pretty well because one of the things, and this was my neighbor Kara, she's my running buddy as well, because she did the 10-mile as well. But was to do, so we had these bracelets. There are 9 here. I actually had 10. My 3-year-old snapped one of them. So I'm not holding it here, but I had a bracelet for each mile, and I had written on each bracelet, basically who I was dedicating that mile to. And so, for example, my first mile started out strong to Jesus because giving my first 10%, the first mile, seek first the kingdom. So there were lots of kind of ones related to that, but I'm like, okay, let's start it out with Jesus. And then I put a lot of thought into the other miles and who I dedicated the miles to. For example, I dedicated mile number 5 to my husband because we're in the 5th year of marriage. Mile 6 to my son Christian because he was born in the 6th month. Mile 7 to my son Abe because he was born in the 7th month, and then also because 6 and 7 had a little bit of kind of some rolling hills. Not too bad at all, but I sometimes think of contractions when I think of the running hills. So I think of like the contractions during childbirth of like, okay, you go harder for a little bit and then it eases up. So anyways, all of these bracelets had a reason. And like, for example, one more, my brother Brian, mile number 10, I dedicated that to him and his family because he's a hardcore runner. He's been my coach as well. Always the person I call up if I need advice about running. And so I kind of was thinking, okay, that last mile, like how would Brian be handling this last mile? So it was really fun. So I had 10 of them. You had my mom, my dad, my in-laws, some dear friends of mine. So I had each mile dedicated. But because I didn't have my earbuds working, it also really forced me to be in the moment and spend more time in prayer and praying for each of these people who I had that mile dedicated to. So at the point where I started to like think of something else, or I started to be like, wow, I'm kind of tired, I'm ready for this to be done, I would think, wait a second, okay, this mile is for this person. Like, how can I pray for this person? Or how can I, what can I do to just really be focusing more outward than inward on kind of what my body was maybe feeling at the time. So it was really, really a good experience. So I just wanted to share that because I'm gonna title this video blog "Run for Jesus" because it's not related to food, but getting right with the Lord related to food was a prerequisite in order to be able to do this running. I had mentioned before, yes, I had run a marathon, I had done half marathons, but never had the joy in it, had that excitement. Never had I went to the starting line and actually felt strong and ready and excited and had a time goal. In the past, I always just like wanted to cross the finish line, and I always had thought I always usually stepped to the starting line with some disappointment because I thought that training would have resulted in me losing weight, because that was always the underlying goal. This time that wasn't the case, because I knew if I'm taking care of my body, my weight is just going to balance out. And if someone would have told me 1 year ago, when I was just stuck in a rut and feeling out of control with the food, if someone would have said, that a year from now that I would have been over 30 pounds lighter than I was at that time, and that I would have run a 10-mile race averaging a 9:23 mile, I don't think I would have believed it, because I don't know how that could have even been possible given the dark space I was in with food, just like out of control, like everything was out of control. And because of that, because of turning it over to the Lord, really feeling that transformation, that healing through Christ related to the food issues, helped me find this joy in running. And it is such a gift. It is such a gift. So I want to encourage you, if you're struggling with something, or if you are, turn it over to the Lord. The biggest thing too is salvation. Like that is, I talk about this gift of running and the gift of like being able to eat nutritious food and feel energetic. Those pale in comparison to the gift of salvation. But all those gifts are open to you, and they're free, and they're amazing. So thank you for tuning in today, and I look forward to next time.